Hi, parents. It's Angela Lamb here, NextGen pastor at New Life, and hopefully becoming a familiar face to you if I'm not already. I recorded a video a couple of weeks ago talking about Young Life, and it just struck me that with this much going on in our NextGen ministries, specifically, I'm posting this video to Alive, which is our junior and senior high, but with this much going on, that maybe you might like to hear from me a little bit more often with updates. So, this is a big week for Alive. If you haven't seen our posts yet, we are launching our junior hires to camp. Yesterday we dropped them off, and the pictures already are all things blessedly junior high and camp. It looks dirty, it looks crazy active, and it looks super fun. We have the coolest group of students. Just, I know, you're their parents, you know, but sometimes I'm reminded in stark ways. And yesterday dropping them off at camp was a delight. It was a delight. So big week for Alive in that our junior highs are at camp, and everybody that didn't go to camp headed out to see the greatest showman at the greatest music theater, the Great Music Theater last night. That's also fun. It's also a big week on our Young Life front. So if you haven't heard the scoop about Young Life, you're going to have to go back to a previous video that I will post a link to in the comments. But we are moving forward with this Young Life thing, and I have some updates to give you about that, which is very exciting. So now that we are officially launched behind the scenes, and what that means is that we have adult leaders who want to do contact work with students are signing on board for being trained. And over here, we are creating a board, which is a group of adults who are trying to figure out how to be the support structure underneath this ministry. With these two pieces in the mix, we are officially launched as Young Life Petaluma, which is very exciting, and even maybe more exciting is it's not just a New Life effort. This is not just a reiteration of a youth group. This is actually a citywide, meaning people from all kinds of different church affiliations are participating in making this thing happen. There are people that are just sold out about the idea of how in the world do we stop this decline of students becoming less and less engaged in faith kinds of conversations and relationships? And how do we ignite some kind of curiosity and begin the process of engaging our students in being curious about God? So I am super excited that at the moment, and this is not a done deal, but at the moment there are 9 people saying, I want to do contact work with students and help get it off the ground by building those relationships. And then over here, we have 15 people who are in some level on the support system. We're still trying to figure out we have our job descriptions all written. Pairing people up with those job descriptions is the step that we're at. But I am thrilled to say some of the key roles that we need. That board is made up of 3 teams. There is the resource development team who is looking to develop funding. There is a leadership development team who is all about recruiting, training, sustaining, and encouraging leaders to work with students. And then there is the community development team, which is all about fostering this network, this citywide network of churches, organizations, individuals who are the support system, the prayer system, the communication system behind this whole thing. So the board is made up of 3 teams, but if you're going to run 3 different teams with multiple people underneath them and an entire ministry system sitting on it, you're going to need a couple of key pieces. You're going to need a board chair, somebody to run that team, to do the project management for the overall project. You're going to need team leaders for all 3 of those teams. And then underneath that, you obviously have to staff the whole team with volunteers. But those leadership positions are the beginning pieces. It's really hard to recruit people to a team when you say, you're going to have an awesome leader. I promise you're not going to end up accidentally leading. So in order to get people into those leadership positions, it's a really big deal. And we are excited. I won't go into all the details because it doesn't do any good to say, well, this is the person if you don't even know who that person is. But I am excited to say that there are high quality people who God has prepared before this moment to run these particular teams. Both they have project management experience, they have leadership experience, they have ministry experience inside of the church leading volunteer teams, and they are signing on to say, let's do this. So that's super fun that God has prepared them before this moment to do this thing. Also, they are from a mix of churches, which is also a really good sign. I am passionate about what New Life is doing. I'm super excited with the fact that we get to rub shoulders and link arms with other churches. And so the fact that these leadership positions don't come straight out of New Life is really encouraging to me, that God is moving something larger than just our church in Petaluma. And that is super fun. So that's where we sit, is our job descriptions are written, and we are beginning to populate the board teams, and we have populated leadership positions as well as quite a few of the positions underneath there. And according to our regional director from Young Life, who does this sort of thing over and over and over again, we have incredible chemistry. We have incredible momentum. He is highly encouraged by what he sees this coming together, both in how fast it's coming together, how comprehensive it's coming together, and the leads that God has generated here. He just keeps saying, it is so obvious God is on the move in Petaluma, and he's ready to do this. So fun to see people responding to it too. That's very fun. And then the leadership side as well. Highly encouraging how many people are being involved there. I think I said it in my previous video, but just in case I didn't, one of our, when we asked Young Life what needs to happen in order for us to be able to have both Young Life, which is the high school group, and Wildlife, which is the junior high group, what do we need to do in order to ensure that that happens? And what we were told was that that's going to take about a staff and a half. It's going to require a fully staffed board that could actually sustain two different ministries. And it's going to take 5 adult leaders saying, I want to do contact work with students. 5 over here for the Young Life set and 5 over here for the Wildlife set. We're not yet done there because there's funding to do and all that kind of stuff. But the signs are pointed to, we are on the right track to see that happen. And in my last video, I know that I said what it looks like is that we'll be doing training with the adult leaders this summer. We will be doing contact work in the fall on campuses, and that hopefully we'll be launching an actual club, a weekly gathering of students that are wanting to engage in these spiritual conversations, faith-based conversations, hopefully in the new year. I'm going to keep updating you. Don't hold me to that, but that is the prayer and the plan, and we seem to be on track for it, and that is super exciting. So all kinds of good stuff happening in and around Alive. In my last video, I told you that for the summer schedule of Alive, while we're still doing Alive meetings, while this behind the scenes stuff is happening with Young Life, I had told you that we would have weeks that we would have to not have Alive for a couple of reasons. One, the schedules of who God's called to that ministry are just really tight, and we're not having enough critical mass of adults in order to have those nights. So sometimes that's the case, and sometimes out of respect for those very same leaders, when they are trying to sustain Alive as well as be trained in the Young Life system, it's asking a lot. So sometimes we would cancel Alive for the purposes of respecting the fact that they have whole lives to do on top of these 2 different things they're trying to manage at the same time. That still remains true, so that's just me reminding you of that. But I'd like to request something from you. 2 things. 1, be praying for them. That's a big deal, the way that they're investing in your students, and they are lovely for it, and I am so encouraged. That being said, be praying for them for their sustainability, that they will be, God will both be igniting them and sustaining them while they are trying to learn this new thing and sustain this other thing that we've got going on. And then 2, if somebody comes to mind, either if your student says, you know who I like? I know they don't talk like that, but they give you clues of who they like. If somebody comes to mind that you're like, hey, why doesn't this person get involved? Or why doesn't this person partner with Alive? Dude, I am more than happy to make recruitment calls. I'll even make cold calls. I have no problem with it. So if somebody comes to mind that you think I should be pitching, either about getting involved in the future Young Life or helping us sustain Alive in the meantime, please speak up, put their name in the comment. You make nominations, raise their hand for them. I am a low pressure. I don't want to twist anybody's arm into doing this because it is not the easiest work ever. And I recognize that people are happier and more successful in their ministry when they love what they're doing. So you can count on me not to strong arm one of your friends into this. But if you think there's somebody that I should be recruiting, you tell me. I will go recruit them. So pray, nominate, and stay in the loop. I love that you're here on Alive, keeping in touch. I will attempt to keep you in the loop. I love you guys. I love serving with you. I love serving your families. I really love your kids. You've done a good job. All right, I'll be back.